Hi everyone, you're watching Midlife and Nailing It, and this is Leslie. If you could please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, I would really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I have a What's for Dinner video for you. I post these every Monday. I hope you enjoy. The first meal that I have for you is a crock pot meal. I went ahead and this is actually an oven bag. I had some of these and I was out of crock pot liners, and so I thought, what's the difference? So I threw one of these in. To that, I'm going to add the ingredients I use for my pot roast. I have some Lipton beefy onion soup mix. I also just use the regular kind as well. But that's what I had on hand. I have a roast that I generously put salt and pepper on all sides. I also cut up an onion. I have half on top of the roast and half on the side there. You're also going to need some bay leaves. And I have a package of rainbow carrots from Trader Joe's. You can use any carrots that you like. I just use whatever I have on hand. I also use whatever potatoes I have on hand. Today I have these petite potatoes, a variety of colors there. They come in a pack. I probably got them from Kroger. And I am going to leave them in whole form because they are petite. If they're a bigger potato, you're probably going to want to quarter them. And then I just layer these ingredients into the crock pot. I usually start with the potatoes, and then I do the carrot and onion. I'll add half of that Lipton soup mix, throw a bay leaf in, add the roast, the rest of the onion, bay leaves, and Lipton soup mix. I cooked this on high for about 6 hours. So this is what my pot roast looked like plated up. It was so super good. It always is. It's a never fail recipe. How long you cook your roast depends on the size of your roast. And I just want to say you want to cook it until when you take a fork, a couple of forks to it maybe, and it just falls right apart. So that's how you'll know when it's done. Again, it's hard to give you an exact time because it depends on the size. Just be sure to use my fork tip and you'll be golden. It will turn out every time. So this night my hubby made dinner. He is searing up a pork tenderloin that we got from Trader Joe's. It was pre-seasoned. And he's got some, I want to say some, but a little more than some olive oil in the pan. It turned out super good, so we're just going to ignore the amount of olive oil in there. So this is what it looked like when he flipped it over to sear the other side. After the pork tenderloin was seared, he put it on this baking sheet and he's getting ready to put it into the oven. You guys, I am not sure what he cooked or baked the pork tenderloin on. He's not here to ask. It was probably whatever the package said, and yeah, I am not sure, but he roasted the pork tenderloin. Usually there's directions on any pork tenderloin you get in the oven as directed. For a side, he decided to go with Brussels sprouts. He went ahead and cut all of them in half, and it looks like he's using the 21 seasoning salute from little wobbly from Trader Joe's. Oh, he's showing you closer. Okay, 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. It is so super good, you guys. And then it looks like he, of course, is using olive oil. Funny thing here, that's a new olive oil. So we used up the other olive oil when we were searing. I'm just kidding. It tasted so good. I love when he makes Brussels sprouts like this. So it looks like he just wanted to show you here what it looks like when they're cooking up. So this is what the Brussels sprouts looked like when they were finished. So this is what the pork tenderloin looked like when it was finished, and he kind of sliced it up there. He used Berman's Carolina barbecue sauce. You can pick that up at Aldi on the side with the pork tenderloin. It was a super good combo. We also had applesauce with this dinner. So that's what my husband made for dinner. So this night, guys, I was not feeling that great. So I just took these flame broiled meatballs from Kroger that goes in the freezer. Kind of funny story. I have no sense of how big something is when I buy off of Kroger Click List, which is where you order your groceries and then you go and they load your car up and you just leave. You don't have to grocery shop. So yeah, this is a monstrosity of a bag because we rarely even have these. But yeah, so and then I went ahead and sliced up a green pepper and an onion. And I just grabbed whatever sauce we had in the pantry. I just using this Kroger traditional classic tomato sauce. And I think I used 1.5 jars. So, and since my using the oven bag plan worked earlier in the week, I went ahead and did it again. And just so you know, I did not use that whole bag of meatballs. I just used maybe a fourth or a third of it, and then I just threw everything into the crock pot. This is what the meatballs looked like when they were finished cooking. So on the side there, I have what's left over of a jar of Pioneer Woman, the Bolognese, I think, pasta sauce warming up on the stovetop. I also grabbed some sub buns from the Kroger bakery, and I sliced those up, sprinkled a little bit of olive oil on it, toasted them in the oven on a low broil. Then I pulled them out real quick, topped half of the sub rolls with some mozzarella cheese, and put it back into the broiler, just enough to let the cheese melt. This is what the meatball sandwich looked like plated up. Everybody just kind of ate whatever with this. I think some people had chips, pickles, and then we had a little container of the Kroger mustard potato salad. So whatever anybody wanted. I didn't feel well. I could have cared less what anyone ate this night. I know we all have nights like that. So this is what was for dinner this night. So this night I decided to make my son's very favorite thing I make, and it is goulash. I've got a couple pounds of hamburger there that I'm just starting to brown up. To that, I'm adding up an entire onion chopped up. Next, I'm adding a whole green pepper diced up. For my seasonings here, I have 3 garlic cloves chopped up and some salt and pepper to taste. On the back burner, I am boiling some pasta. I just have some elbow macaroni. In the meantime, I put my husband in charge of using this handy dandy tool. It's one of his favorite tools to use, guys. So he is browning up that ground beef and onion and pepper and seasoning for me. So just a quick tip, if ever you're making any sort of pasta and it gets done before whatever you're making to go into it gets done, after you drain it, if you add a little bit of butter or olive oil and kind of stir it all around, then it won't get sticky and clumpy and gross while you're waiting to add your other ingredients. So here's the thing, guys. When I make goulash, I don't really have a set recipe. I do know that I always use 1 cup of ketchup. And then the rest of it just kind of depends what I have on hand. I know for sure I'm going to use those diced tomatoes and the 2 tomato sauces. And I do end up using about half of that can of crushed tomatoes as well. So my hamburger is all browned up. I go ahead and drain that off and then add it to my macaroni. To that, I add my diced tomatoes. I also add my 2 cans of tomato sauce and my cup of ketchup because that's what makes it taste 1979. So after stirring all of that up, I decide to add a little bit of the crushed tomatoes. I also have my pot on a low heat so that it keeps everything warm as I'm stirring things into the pot. After everything is stirred in, you do want to leave it on that low heat for just a few minutes just to make sure everything warms through that you added. And this is what that meal looked like plated up. This is always so good, and it reminds me of my childhood. My mom used to make something similar to this. I don't know if it's exact. She probably just threw whatever she had on hand into a pot. Of course, mine is never the same either. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate all of you so very much. I'll see you soon.